Hi guys, welcome to the video. So in today's video we're going to look at stress and how this might affect you. So you may not be aware of this, but there's two types of stress. The first type of stress is that confrontational type stress. So you go into the office and you confront your boss with something or other. You want to run away, you want to hit him. So it's your fight or flight mechanism. Second type of stress that you get is one where there's a constant pressure and it's in a negative way. So this might be you're working 9 till 5, but you keep getting more and more work on top of you that you feel that you can't fit within that time period. So the first type is type 1 stress. It's relatively easy to fix. So if you get into that situation, if you get in a situation where you have a confrontation, there's 3 things you need to be looking at. So the first thing is your body will try and analyse the data that's there and try and work out whether there is a confrontation of some description. So what it's trying to do is stop and think. And so sometimes you'll get people telling you to take a breath. What you're trying to engage is your thinking mind, because your subconscious and unconscious work at a massively faster pace. So they're already telling you to run away, and your thinking mind's still trying to work out whether you need to run away or not. So a couple of deep breaths, and that might give you enough time to work out whether there really is a threat or not. Now, if there is a threat, and let's say it's a confrontational threat, because in the past, your brain was trained to make you run away from, an animal or something that might be attacking you. You can't really do that with your boss. So what you can do is you have your confrontation with whoever it is or whatever it is, and then what you need to do is then mimic what those fight and flight responses are. So once you've taken a couple of deep breaths, you've thought about what you need to do, you then need to mimic that run away if that's the type of person you are. So what I would suggest is something like go for a walk, go swimming, go for a run, anything that mimics that flight process. It doesn't need to be long, because the chemicals are hitting your body ready to get you to do that. And if you think about it in a confrontation with an animal, you might not actually have to run very far, because a lot of the sort of predatory animals, they're very fast, but only for a short period of time. So the other type might be the fact that you're into that fight mode. You're not someone who'd run away from a confrontation. Can't obviously hit your boss. So what you might do is you would do something that has impact in it. So it might be, for example, weightlifting, rugby, football, something in that order, something that mimics that fight process. Type 2 stress is this constant stress. So you've got your 9 to 5 job and they keep piling more and more work onto you. So to deal with this type of thing, you need to work out whether it's you that's the problem, because you don't have the skills to manage it, or whether there is just too much work there. So if you haven't got the skills, and those skills might be that you need better time management, you need to work out how to chunk things down into smaller units and get them done. It might be that you just don't have the skills, and so therefore learning new skills, so it takes you longer. So one element of that, of getting rid of that stress, is to learn new skills that will help you to manage that stress. The other type of skill that you need might be to influence or negotiate with somebody. So if your boss is coming along saying, I need you to do this by 5 o'clock, and they've forgotten that they've given you something else to do, then what you probably need to be saying to them is, look, you've given me these 2 things, which one do you want me to drop? Or which one is more important and you want me to focus on? If these things don't really work, then maybe it's time to just look for another job, or to move on if you can, and take yourself out of that situation. Okay, so it's your type 1 and type 2 stress. The other thing to realise with stress is there's good stress and bad stress. So good stress is things that will push you. So when we talked earlier on about you doing an extra activity, your boss might come along and say, can you do X, Y and Z? And it's a new skill to you. So it takes you longer to do, but it pushes you and drives you to meet whatever deadlines are there and to learn those new skills. Once you've got those skills, it becomes easier. So that's a good stress. A bad stress is as I say, there's work piling on, you just don't have the ability to manage it. So the easiest way to work out whether you're in good stress or bad stress is, do you feel that you can control the situation? Okay, so if my boss comes along and says, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and I need to do it by 5 o'clock, and I'm off running a class at 5:30, then I might turn around and say, well, I can't do those because I've got this commitment here. But it might be, you know, if I haven't got anything to do, I might be quite happy staying in and working until 7 or 8, just to get that one bit of work done and dusted. Okay, so have a think about it. Hopefully, it's given you some ideas and some thoughts. Hopefully, it will give you this understanding why people will tell you to do certain things and these things conflict. So when someone's stressed, they might say, go and do some yoga or some Pilates, or well, the yoga and Pilates the yoga and the Pilates is probably doing more of the meditative, take a breath. Whereas if they turn around and say, you know, go and lift some weight, you know, I'll go and lift some weights or hit some bags or do some karate or whatever, then that's possibly the fight mechanism. Some people will just go for a walk and jog, and that's the run mechanism. So there's lots of ways of helping you. You just need to work out what way works best for you. Okay, so I hope that's been of use to you, and I will see you in the next video.